How Democracy is Manufactured Through Media Filters. In their landmark book, Manufacturing Consent, 1988, political economists Edward S. Herman and Noam Chomsky developed the propaganda model to explain how media functions not as a watchdog of power, but as a system that supports elite interests, especially in so-called liberal democracies like the United States. Their core argument: mass media serves to mobilize support for the special interests that dominate the state and private activity. In this model, propaganda is not the overt kind we associate with authoritarian regimes. It is more subtle, systemic, and invisible, operating through market-based incentives and institutional routines. The 5 filters of the propaganda model. Herman and Chomsky identify 5 structural filters that shape media output in capitalist democracies. 1. Ownership, concentration of media control. Media outlets are large corporations, all part of conglomerates, with profit motives. The economic interests of owners influence editorial decisions. Radical views that challenge corporate or state power rarely make it to air. Today, news corporations like News Corp, Comcast, or Disney often avoid stories that challenge their own shareholders or advertisers. 2. Advertising, primary source of revenue. Media depends on advertisers for survival. This creates an incentive to avoid content that might upset sponsors. News is shaped to be brand safe, focusing on entertainment and consumerism rather than critical analysis. Today, on platforms like YouTube, creators risk demonetization for political content, encouraging self-censorship. 3. Sourcing, reliance on official sources. Journalists depend on official institutions, governments, corporations, think tanks, for information. This dependency reinforces dominant narratives. Whistleblowers and grassroots voices are marginalized or ignored. Today, press briefings dominate coverage, while investigative journalism remains underfunded. 4. Flak, disciplinary pressure. Negative feedback, flak, from powerful actors keeps media in line. Government pressure, legal threats, and PR campaigns punish dissent. Media may preemptively avoid controversial topics to sidestep backlash. Today, journalists who challenge state narratives, e.g. on war or surveillance, face smear campaigns or job loss. 5. Anti-communism, ideological control. Now, anti-terrorism, anti-China, etc. Dominant ideologies frame how stories are told. During the Cold War, the communist threat justified censorship. Today, the same function is served by new ideological enemies: terrorism, immigration, cyber threats, etc. Today, criticism of Western military intervention is often dismissed as unpatriotic or pro-authoritarian. What makes the propaganda model powerful? It explains how media bias emerges structurally, not conspiratorially. Journalists may believe they are independent, but the institutional environment shapes the range of acceptable opinion. Consent is not imposed. It is manufactured through repetition, framing, and omission. Conclusion: why the propaganda model still matters. The propaganda model is still a crucial framework for understanding why certain wars are underreported, why labor struggles are ignored, why corporate wrongdoing receives sanitized coverage. It reminds us that in capitalist democracies, freedom of the press exists, but only within the boundaries defined by power. To think critically about the media, students must not only ask, what is being said, but also, what is being left out, and why.